Buenas, buenas. Gotta cull the herd really quick, keep rent low and all that. A couple days ago, I woke up. Bad start, I know. Relax, relax, hear me out. I got my happy ass up and I went for a run. This was one of the handful of times I've been able to run in the past year because I got injured and I got surgery on my knee. Tore both of my meniscus, fucked up my cartilage a little bit, ACL sprain, tendonitis, all that. Let's call it a workplace mishap and not elaborate, right? Because that's always fun. Anyways, I came back from that run and I promise you, I thought I was gonna die. I went from being able to run a 2 mile in 12 minutes and 29 seconds to being gassed, trying to run a mile at a 10-minute pace and getting shaky legs trying to go downstairs. I was in full kit, but it doesn't change the fact that my conditioning is shot. I was also on a treadmill, which I consider cheating, but whatever. Shit sucks. Bad. But I recovered fucking quick. How did I do that? I remembered. I'm not a Republican, a conservative. I'm not a fan of that rapist, racist, orange pedophile in the White House. Not a fan of genocidal Israel, rapist Tectone, white supremacist cockroach Asmongold, racist Aiden Ross. I thought about all of this while trying to catch my breath, and it's like I popped a stim. An SJ6 or some shit. I was good. Knee still hurt, I won't lie. I thought it was going to collapse in on itself like that house from Poltergeist, but I felt alive. Felt nice and comfortable in my body, and I felt happy. Honestly, what else can you ask for? Now, at the beginning, I mentioned culling the herd, and that's exactly what I intend to do. I haven't uploaded anything in a long time, and while I can't tell you how my numbers look because I just don't pay attention to that information, I can confidently say those numbers are different. So are the times, and so are the people. Some of you need to be filtered out. I fucking hate ICE, Border Patrol, DHS, the people who are enrolled in these agencies, the people who lead them. Calling them a cancer to society is a moderate statement. I promise you, I'm putting it as nicely as I can. I fucking hate the rapist, racist, orange pedophile in the White House, as well as any and all of his pathetic gaggle fuck he calls a cabinet. If you're a fan of them and they haven't screwed you over yet, don't worry your stupid little head, they'll get around to it. I fucking hate homophobes, transphobes, misogynists, racists, white supremacists, pedophiles, Nazis, Zionists, lollicons, and so many more ideologies that listing them would take up way too much of my precious time. Fuck Charlie Squirt, by the way, died like he lived. Nothing but a worthless shitbag. You got a problem with that? Be honest with yourself. You're not gonna squabble up about it. Get off my dick. Not even his wife cares that he's in the fucking dirt. Misandry is not real. Men are statistically most in control in society, as well as the oppressors and almost always the abusers in relationships. And I'll tell you what, I always see videos of grown-ass men throwing tantrums because their football team lost or because a woman says she's not interested in them, but the only thing I ever hear about is how women are too emotional and the root of the world's problems. Yeah, I bet. Bunch of socially inept fucking idiots. The male loneliness epidemic or whatever the fuck isn't real. Grow a pair. Heterophobia is not real. Feel free to go outside and fact check that for me real quick. There is no war on Christianity. You're under religious psychosis. There is no war on Christmas. You're just old and stupid. Cisgender straight white people want to feel oppressed really bad so they can get attention and pity points, but they would never actually want to be in the shoes of somebody oppressed. Or God forbid, help those people. They just want to feel like victims to justify the shitty things they want to do and say. Before I forget, throw generative AI into the shitter. Elon Musk, Sam Altman, and that sex pest looking motherfucker that runs Palantir, people's livelihoods are being ripped away. Their work is being stolen, then thrown into the plagiarism machine, and the average person's experience browsing the internet or interacting with anything in the general vicinity of tech is tanking. Also, some fucking degenerate can get Grok or whatever to generate them a girlfriend while they slobber all over their keyboard like a fucking dumbass. And can't forget about asking Grok to undress random people and kids. Pro AI and conservative MAGA folks love to go through life like a bunch of brain-dead zombies. They don't deserve your respect. I'm sure the average non-Republican can use the old noggin and realize what I do and do not support. So let's move on. Some of you may be asking, what brought this on? I'm sure I've mentioned in the past that I don't do politics, and that is a blatantly wrong and dumb thing to say. The only people who can truly say this and mean it are the privileged. People born with a golden spoon up their ass with so much money They wouldn't need to interact in any critical way, shape, or form with general society. You and me, though, we're not like these people. I came from nothing. Sleeping in a car with my parents to sleeping in a trailer with holes around the bathtub where I can still vividly remember seeing the moonlight through the hole while I was bathing with a bucket, where even a real bed was too small for all three of us. I know struggle. I have struggled. The reason stories like mine are not rare is because of politics, because of the people in power and their incompetence, because of their prejudice, because of institutions like ICE that exist to oppress the people, because of dickheads like Epstein's best friend that cut benefits to impoverished communities and starve them, not only physically, but mentally. We cannot afford to not be political in this day and age. I was ignorant and wrong, and I will rectify that. For example, and please stick with me, right? It's gonna sound stupid at the beginning, but just kind of like listen to what I have to say. In the past, I've called straight shippers and Yuri/Yaoi shippers the same kind of person, and that everyone is just trying to have fun and they should stop fighting because it's childish. At the time, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I thought I'm probably getting all these super embarrassing straight shippers because I'm interacting with all these super negative posts. This is probably not the average person. In reality, the majority of straight shippers that I've seen, mind you, I have no interest in seeing them and I do not interact with anything related to them, yet they still show up, are pieces of shit. Just homophobes and transphobes hiding behind, it's not that serious and it's just pixels to justify their shitty behavior. I tried to pull the, both sides are bad actually, ignorantly made a generalization and made a stupid statement. In that same video, I said that if you really don't want to, you don't have to quit playing Genshin, just don't spend any money. That is wrong. That has no effect on the company and does not make them feel the need to change anything. You're still engaging with the product. I pretentiously and ignorantly wanted to really meet in the middle and made a stupid statement. To many people, these two situations are small, insignificant. And while they are small, I don't think they're insignificant at all. To me, this is an example of how ignorance and fence sitting, centrism, can bleed into everything that you do and say, and it all starts with the small things. That's not the person I want to be. I have become significantly more strict with who I choose to associate with both in real life and online. I'm not special. I know that there are people just like me out there who also care about who they choose to support, and I hope this is a very clear message to those people. I don't want to watch somebody and give them my precious time only to find out there's some racist or misogynist or homophobe. I want you, the person who has chosen to click on my video over any other and has given me, of all people, the time of day to feel comfortable around myself and my content. I never want you to worry about whether I would use your identity, where you come from, what your skin color is, or who you choose to love to bully you or make you feel uncomfortable. The things I stand for, I stand for. I've stood in front of multiple dudes and told them exactly what I thought about them when they were being transphobic. I've stood in front of a homophobe twice my size after they've threatened to kick my ass for saying something they don't like. I've spat on a Christian nationalist and have had him threaten to beat the shit out of me. The group of guys didn't do shit but stand there and look stupid. Maybe if they closed their eyes and pretended I was a woman, they would have swung. The homophobe threatened to whoop my ass if I kept saying that he was closeted, so I continued mocking him and he didn't do a thing about it. The Christian nationalist I spat on threatened to come over there and kick my ass, but never actually pulled up. If these fucking losers don't have overwhelming authority and numbers like these ICE degenerates and even cops behind all those masks and badges, they are nothing. On an even playing field, these fucking failures don't have it in them. You don't know me, so you'll never really understand or know what kind of person I am. I understand that. I have no proof that any of these situations actually happened, and because of that, you have no reason to believe me. I understand that. But I know myself. I know what kind of person I am, and I know the things I've done. I'm gonna carry myself accordingly, and I hope you can understand that too. I'm adding this part after I've already recorded everything, since it slipped my mind and I don't know exactly where to put it. From now on, be careful around people who claim to be not into politics, slash like I don't do politics. Probably a coincidence, wink wink. But every time I've seen somebody say that, they turn out to be right wing shitheads that are too afraid to say it in fear of being rightfully ostracized for being fucking losers. Don't let those people near any kids as well, obviously. You should also be careful with people like the ones I just mentioned that are going to try to hide and say they never supported any of this at any point. You see that type of attitude a lot from conservative Trump supporters who voted for him thinking only the queers and the liberals and the blacks would get fucked and not them. Name and shame them. These people are one more Fox News segment away from saying MLK was actually white and no one should be able to criticize the government or own guns. And it won't be too long now before the typical Trump worshiper starts parroting the same talking points like fucking cattle. With that being said, we're done here. I really appreciate you giving me the time of day. It's an honor, really. Stay safe, stay healthy, arm yourself, train, and I'll see you around.